Monte Huebsch, CEO and founder of Aussieweb and Aussieweb Conversion and well-known Google guru. Welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, Wayne. Good to see you again.
Monty, I'm curious about some changes that have occurred on the Google screen when I run a search. The Google right-hand side ads seem to have disappeared. What's going on?
Wayne, you're absolutely correct. As of early in the month of March 2016, Google used to have on a desktop search 3 ads on the left-hand side, 1, 2, 3, and then 8 ads down the right-hand side. And those, as of early March 2016, are gone.
So in our graphic, we've marked the right-hand panel for you. What's appearing in its place? Anything, or is that just blank space now?
Well, first thing is, with the reduction or the removal of the right-hand ads, the ads on the top have grown in number from 3 to 4.
Okay.
And there are also, if you scroll on a desktop again, this is all about desktop, Wayne. When you scroll down to the bottom of the page, there are usually 3 ads at the very bottom of the page as well. The right-hand side ads are gone in their entirety. And the only time you see ads on the right-hand side, you no longer even see Google My Business with maps. That's in the center, not on the bottom, or not on the right. The only time you see right-hand ads are if it's Google Shopping ads. And again, only on desktop.
What's the motivation behind the change, Monty? My head is full of both good and bad reasons as to why this might have happened. What's your take on it?
It's clear Google, $60 billion a year turnover company based around 94% of their income coming from ad revenue. They don't make these sorts of significant changes without a lot of historic background. It turns out in their analysis, and this has been confirmed from Google, that the people that clicked on the right-hand side ads, those 8 that appeared on the right-hand side, were less than 15% of the ad clicks on the page. So only about 1 in 7 people actually clicked over on the right-hand side.
Explain to us the process that people went through to get their ad on the page to start with for those people who might never have done it, because I know this is a critical part of what you do.
Yeah, excellent question, Wayne. The short answer is Google conducts an auction. So advertisers are competing by bidding against each other what they're willing to pay. Although Google, being the odd company that they are, doesn't just take the highest bidding number and put it in position 1 with the second bidder in position 2, position 3, then you'd go to the right-hand side, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, down to 11. They actually take another consideration in, and that's the click-through rate of the ad. So that the copy that is written about that ad determines if it gets clicked. So if somebody's bidding 50 cents a click and you're bidding $1, if the 50-cent ad gets clicked 3 times, you made Google $1.50. And if the dollar ad only gets clicked once, you made Google only $1. So they'll actually take the 50-cent ad and put it above the dollar ad. It's a thing called quality score that they're measuring, which is a combination of your bid price and the click-through rate. So it's not just bidding. You just can't bid your way to the top, which in fact is what you can do on Bing.
Okay. So does getting rid of the right-hand side ads mean that there are less spaces to appear on the front page, even if it was only 15% of the total users?
Absolutely. But with the addition of the ads at the bottom, they've captured and they've swept some of that 15% is now people that have scrolled down to the bottom. And literally the most successful bottom ad of the 3 is the very, very bottom for somebody who's scrolled all the way down to the very bottom. And then very few people go to page 2, less than 5%. So they may click on the bottom ad rather than scroll back up. But overall, Google's revenues with the extra 4th ad at the top clearly has not decreased. And Google has told us that less than half of the population now is using desktop. They're searching on mobiles.
Now, that was an extraordinary statistic I just heard slip through there. Are you saying that just no one's looking at the second page in search results?
Absolutely. It's less than 5% go to page 2 and less than 1% go to page 3. Google has taught us that the answer is on the first page or to research with more refined terms if you don't find what you want.
Oh, that's very interesting, because I guess even if you're not an advertiser, if you're just relying on being listed as a result of the organic content of your website, you're either page one or you're nothing based on that statistic.
Yep, the words we jokingly say is dead bodies are buried on page 2.
Oh, unless, of course, someone's searching for dead bodies and then you'd be on page 1, but never mind. Monty, is this a naked grab for money by Google, or is there some customer service model in here that's not obvious to me?
Well, it's now been running for more than 3 weeks, and more than anecdotal evidence is now coming back to us that's showing advertisers, particularly those that had always been spending time to be in the top 3 positions, have not seen any substantive increase in their costs now that they're 4. And Google has explained to us that part of the reason for this was to make the user experience more common to a mobile device, because on these devices, which we tend to use if we're not watching video in portrait mode, people tend to scroll up and down because it's a long, narrow screen. And in fact, the amount of scrolling occurring on even desktops has increased. So they're making the experience between mobile devices and desktops devices similar. And of course, now on mobile devices, which used to have 2 ads on the top, there's sometimes now 3 ads. So virtually no organic show on the screen unless you scroll.
Ah, very interesting. So are we headed to a world where commercially, if you want to have people find your business and click on it, you're going to have to pay?
Well, organic results have not gone away. They're still there. And the day Google stops having quality organic results and they're just an advertising platform, the company will destroy itself. So they continue to have organic results on both desktops and mobiles. But yes, for those people that click on the top, being in that podium finish, which now is gold, silver, bronze, and iron, you need to pay if you're going to try to capture that environment. It's worth noting, there was a traditional eye tracking study that used to be called the golden triangle, and how our eye started on the left and then moved to the right and went down the page. It's been redone in 2015, and it's not that way anymore because of the experience of our doing this on our mobiles. Our eye is moving up and down. We've been trained to look up and down much more than we have up, across, back. That just doesn't occur anymore, and there's substantive evidence-based research to prove that. So
now that those right-hand ads have gone, and I guess one of the things that I relied on for the right-hand ads was that they were obviously ads. They weren't in the organic list of sites. The ads that are now at the top and bottom of the organic search results are identifiable as ads, but it's not the most obvious identifier in the world.
No, and research tends to indicate that less than 50% of Australians actually recognize that those first free results are in fact ads.
So Monty, the ads are marked, but they're marked subtly. Do people use the ads like their organic search results, or do they avoid them and go to the organic search results, or do we just not know?
Yeah, that's a great question, Wayne. And again, there's evidence and data to support that. Not only do 50% of the people not know that the top 4 now are ads, if you actually occur on the top page of Google in an ad and organically, and you say, well, I'm going to stop paying and I'm going to get rid of my ad, only 11% of the people shift from the ad down to the organic and will still click on you. 89% will click on somebody else that's still in that ad range at the top. Because whether it's ignorance or just not knowing, the transition doesn't drop back down to the organics. Of course, those that do know that they're ads many times will scroll down for the organic results, regardless of whether there's 3 or 4 ads, because they know they're not ads.
I have been guilty of going the other way and clicking on the ads deliberately because I know that's a real company who's prepared to invest in their product. It's not some 13-year-old, in their bedroom running a website about something they're passionate about. it is a corporate entity because there's money being spent on it.
That's correct.
Now, Monty, with the right-hand side ads of Google gone, are you expecting further changes, or are you waiting in anticipation like the rest of us?
Well, clearly, the only thing that occupies that space is when Google runs their shopping or merchant ads, which are actually, again, you pay for somebody when they click on those ads, but they're less, usually a tenth of the cost of an ad to be on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side. And they come from a feed. And when I say from a feed, they come from an e-commerce site where you have to be able to buy the product online. You have to have a picture of the product. You have to have the price of the item. And then you have to have your URL so they know what website they're going to. Now, those ads are becoming extremely successful for people that literally have e-commerce sites that sell online and have a visual product. But they actually don't do anything to create the ad other than provide a feed from their e-commerce system to dynamically create that ad. Extremely successful and inexpensive.
That's very interesting. I'm sure there'll be lots of e-commerce sites who are interested in that news, and perhaps we'll talk about that at a future interview.
Fine, that's be great, Wayne. Yeah, there's some good success stories coming out from that.
Monty, CEO and founder of Aussieweb and Aussieweb Conversion, Google guru of renown, it's been a pleasure having you with us once again on the program.
Thanks, Wayne, and it's a recognition that Google keeps making changes, and you got to keep up with them to know what's going on.
And we rely on you to keep us up to date. Monte Huebsch, thank you very much.
Thanks, mate.